money on Tastyworks because Tastyworks sets it up for you. If you buy a 465 put and you sell a 460 put, and this is a debit spread, so you pay $281, and the most you can make, actually this debit spread is actually capped too. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's
the
what
most
I'm
you
saying.
can make is 200. Yeah, the most you can make is $219.
Yeah, I don't even know if I think all of them are capped. I'm not even sure. I think there's like a couple of one or two, but I don't think most of them are capped.
Yeah, that might be right. I've never done debit spreads before because, as we're talking about, I only really do credit stuff. But on debit spreads, you buy the premium, so your max profit is going to be better than on a credit spread. But on the credit spread,
your risk is
you're collecting the premium, so the risk is lower, depending on the strikes you choose, of course, because if you choose too close to the strike price, your risk is automatically going to be higher.
Got it. So in terms of just to wrap things up, because I think I think the people kind of got a real good idea of how you approach this earnings week and how you went to this. But I kind of want to speak a little bit on the other side of just like using this strategy to enter in long-term positions. So based on what you're saying, all of your short spreads or short puts, whatever, are pretty much, to collect premium, to get pretty much quick, reliable money on a weekly basis. But any short puts you have with a long expiration date are only on stocks that you actually would welcome taking the equity.
Yeah, so I have also that's actually a different kind of strategy I'm doing with short puts. I can explain that in a second. But I have an Ulta short put, a Tesla short put, and an Apple short put. Also, I have a CyberArk short put too. So on Apple and Tesla, I looked at September 16th, 2022 expirations, just because I'm young, and these are two companies that I'd gladly own even 2 years in the future for these prices. And plus, the premiums are heightened because it is so far away. So on Tesla, I did a September 16th, 2022, 500 strike short put. I collected $5,729 in premium. I'm currently up 2% on that because it also shows paper gains too in case you want to get out early. And then on Apple, I did a September 16th, 2022, 240 short put, collecting $1,404. I'm down $75 on that, but that's also because it hasn't been priced on Friday since there was no volume on it. So the spreads are a little weird on that one. The spread is $13.40 bid and a $15.25 ask, so it's right around a $200 spread. And then on CyberArk, which is a cybersecurity firm based in Israel, it's a great company. I'm long on it. I did a 100 short put on them for this January 15th, and I collected $784, and I'm break even on that. The paper gains or losses, if you want to say. And then what I did on Ulta is, Ulta it's a makeup company. It's been hammered by all the COVID lockdowns and all that. And I played a rebound on it with a short put. Instead of buying a call on it, I just took an in-the-money short put. For this January, I collected $4,040 on it. And basically, my break even on that, if I was to be assigned at expiration, would be like $179 a share, which on Ulta I'll happily go long on that because it hasn't been at that level in a while. It broke that in March, but that was very brief, as everyone saw. And then I also bought shares on Ulta to go along with that short put. But I'm currently up 32% on the short put. It's no longer in the money, and I could get out right now for a $1,300 profit in a month.
Dope. Yo, man. So, for all y'all listening in, man, like I want to reiterate, man, it's more than one way to skin a cat, and there's a million ways to approach this game. There's a lot of dudes that don't, they don't even play the long side of options. They just do this all day and they just collect premiums, especially if you got a super big bag, collecting the premiums on a lot of these contracts. If you putting big money up, this is like free money. So it's really a no-brainer for people with a lot of equity. And like Tyler brought up, the fact that you can use these short puts as basically like fail safes to in case your stock that you want does happen to drop to those levels, you'll collect it, and if not, you just keep that premium. So I think it's definitely a interesting way to approach the game. Definitely something everybody needs to kind of take and put in a repertoire in some regard, even if you're just using it to enter. For me, I think the smartest thing that, like, in my personal opinion, that I'm taking away, like, I definitely need to start just doing that more to just get into equity positions of, like, stocks that I actually want. Like, I'm just going to get mad short puts for shit, like, mad far out, exactly, like a year out, and then just sit on them shits. Like, I'm about to definitely start doing that. But, yo, Tyler, is there anything else you wanted to say to the people before we sign off on this?
Yeah, so I forgot to touch on it. The Greeks, when selling options, people don't know what the Greeks is. It's delta, which is the change in the options price per dollar change in the strike price or stock price. So the Greeks I look at when selling options is I look at theta because that's time decay. And theta will be a negative number if you have a long contract and a positive number if you have a short contract because, as we've said before, time is on your side when selling. And theta is just the value that the option will decrease as every day goes by. And then I look at vega, which vega is actually very important for selling options, especially when you're trying to take advantage of high IV, because vega is the amount the option contract will change depending on a 1% move in the implied volatility. So basically, you're trying when selling options, you're basically collecting vega and theta. So those are also something you want to look at when you're doing that.
And speaking of the Greeks, are there any metrics that are numbers that you use as, red flags or either green lights, whether, to enter or exit a position on the vega and theta side?
There's not, no. I tend to look at them to gauge what I see the stock price moving overnight, or the option price moving overnight.
Got it. So that would definitely factor in more on, like, when you're doing those earning plays where you're selling either calls or puts that expire that week.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Well, yo, Tyler.
And one last thing.
Yeah. No, continue.
One last thing. If people, so like, when you were playing Kodak, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were buying the puts.
Yeah.
I was on the I was selling calls on it because I saw the IV was extremely high. So I was selling calls on it, writing it down that way. It's just another way to play. Instead of buying puts, you can sell calls if you want to play a move down in the stock.
Got it. And then when you're selling the calls, you're essentially, we're both entering the same position, but you have way less risk than I do.
Yeah, basically. Because you could theoretically lose the entire contract value.
So
if something were to happen, because you're buying it, you're paying that premium out as opposed to collecting it.
So you listening, kids, don't be a degenerate like me. Be more like Tyler and play this game a little bit safer. You know what I'm saying? But also remember, for a lot of these safer plays, you need to have some backative, as my niggas like to call it. You gotta have that bag. You gotta have that backative. So,
yeah. And I taught my dad how to sell options, and now he's collecting $1,000 to $2,000 a week just on the stuff he owns.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's a great way to just generate extra income, and then you can use that income to enter long equity positions if you want.
Beautiful. This is, I think the people, when they hear this episode, are definitely gonna walk away with a lot of gems off this. You definitely dropped a lot of gems on this episode, B.
Yeah, and if anyone has any questions, they can feel free to shoot me a message. If anyone in the chat wants to, go ahead. I think I said my Twitter earlier,
Say it
so if you
again.
want to
Just say
message
it
me on
again.
there,
Say it again for people who might have missed it earlier.
it is 7YLERBAIR.
All right, so y'all go definitely go follow Tyler, hit him up. And yo, Tyler, once again, I want to thank you for coming through, man. Definitely appreciate this.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me in the chat. I appreciate it.
No
If it
doubt.
wasn't for that chat, I probably wouldn't be where I am right now.
I definitely appreciate that, man.
It is very true. I had no idea what I was doing when I first joined.
That's dope. I love hearing shit like that, for real, for real. But yo, I mean, Tyler, don't shortchange yourself, because you definitely definitely one of the brightest people in the group by far, and we all appreciate your help. There's a lot of times when people are asking questions, I don't necessarily get a chance to answer them, and before I even get a chance to answer them, you like helping people out. So I think a lot of people in the group look at you as a resource, even though you're very young. Like, a lot of people look to you as a resource, and we just gonna keep this going, keep making money.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right, sounds good.
Peace.